Vincent, you're looking good. Have you been working out? I feel weird standing. I'm not really sure what to do with my arms when I'm standing. Now I'm sure you guys are wondering what kind of video this is, and actually I myself am wondering the same thing. Basically what I decided to do was I wanted to do a video where I showed my creative process when I'm doing something. Specifically, in this instance, something Halloween based, which is my costume. So what I've decided this year, after much consideration and thought, despite the fact that Kiefer decided to be Tiffany from The Bride of Chucky, I've decided to become the Angel of Death. But first we need to start with the signature piece. At least in my opinion, this is going to be the piece that everyone kind of notices and looks at, and it kind of like catches people's eye, and that is the shoulder pieces. Now with the shoulder pieces, I'm actually gonna suggest you either do this the day before, or maybe a couple days before, or maybe just like earlier in the day, because you're gonna need time for this to dry if you do it the way I'm planning on doing it. Because I plan to spray paint them. First, what you're gonna need is some styrofoam skulls. Now I have one large one. Then I have a bunch of these little ones. Some black spray paint, optional. You don't have to use the black spray paint if you don't want to, but I'm going to because I want it to be, I want it to look really cool and I want it to match what I was doing. Then you're also going to need, I know it's strange, but toothpicks. I'll explain in a minute, but these are going to be a very vital piece to our styrofoam puzzle. And of course, to hold everything all together, your trusty glue sticks and glue gun. So now that we've kind of gotten all those little skewers out of the top of the heads, we're going to take this and kind of come up with an idea. And we're going to use Vincent right here to kind of figure out what we want it to look like. And I suggest kind of using another person when you're doing these kinds of things, as long as you're being safe. Like, don't hot glue on them and stuff like that. But if you have another person kind of lay things on and just kind of get an idea, it'll help you out. Now, this is where the toothpick comes in. I have about 8 of these little tiny skulls. Now, my first thought is I think I want to make it kind of like this and maybe go around. I haven't completely decided on that, but I just want to see what it looks like if I was to place it there. And that's so far so good. I actually really like that placement a lot. It looks cool. So maybe if I do that, and then I could go around like that. Oh, and I could do one up top. I like this. I think we're gonna do that. So what the toothpicks are gonna do, just get a regular toothpick, and you're going to use this to hold them together. Now, I know what you're thinking, that they might fall apart and stuff like that, but this is really, at this moment, is just to hold them together as you're putting it together. And it's gonna give you a little bit extra support when you're going and doing stuff. So let's see, how do we want these to kind of lay? All right, so far so good. Now let's see, go around this way. I'm liking it so far. This is looking super cute. This is exactly what I wanted this to look like. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm thinking maybe this like that. And then maybe one more over here. And the best part about this is if you do mess up and you don't like the placement, like, you could just undo it. So say I didn't want this one here, just pop him off. Just pop him right off. I'm not gonna do that right now because apparently this whole thing might fall apart, but you catch my drift. Oh, it does stay a little bit. Oh, it's so cute. Okay, I'm super excited for this. This looks so good. Actually, before we even do the hot glue, I wanna test it on my shoulder. Excuse me, Vincent, sorry, I need to get in here. So this is how it'll look on my shoulder. I am dying for this look. As of right now, I'm in love with this. I'm thinking when I do the other shoulder, I might have to come up with like a little something to have them connect, so that way it's kind of anchored onto my shoulder. So I'm not sure what that is yet. Join me on this journey to figure out what that is. But as of right now, I think this is a really good idea. Now keep in mind, you're gonna take in consideration of the arch in your back, the back of your shoulder, because this is kind of taller than this since it goes down. So you're gonna have to keep that in mind when you're doing this and doing your placement. I'm thinking this looks really cute. Oh, I'm dying. This is it. This is everything. This is everything. Now the next step is hot glue, and I haven't even turned on the hot glue gun yet, so I'll be right back. Now, my plan here is I'm going to hot glue all the joints, all the places where I have those toothpicks. So my thought is if I loosened a toothpick a little bit, like so I loosened it a little bit out, I'm gonna take my hot glue gun and just kind of place a bunch of glue, like a nice good hot big glob, without getting too messy, which is a little bit difficult because I suck at hot gluing. And then we're going to kind of plop it back on, like so. And hold it there for a second. Oh geez, all stringy. And there we go, it's starting to stick, it's starting to adhere. So that's my plan. I'm going to try to do that to all the joints. I have a feeling these ones are gonna be a little bit more difficult because they have like more than one skewer in them. So we shall see how this goes, but I have confidence that we can do this. Now while we wait for the other half of the shoulder to dry, let's move on to the, what side is this? Left shoulder. We'll move on to the left shoulder, which you're gonna need the big skull for. So basically the big skull is going to be a standalone piece that sits on the shoulder. But the problem I'm having with it is I don't necessarily like how high it goes. So my thought is I'm going to try to cut out some of the back here to kind of make it sit more flush on the shoulder. Now this could go way wrong. I'm hoping not. But I'm thinking as long as I trace around what I want to get rid of and use somebody else, this is where somebody else, if you're doing this, you're definitely going to need somebody else. You can't do this alone without it being a complete and utter mess. So my thought is I'm going to go and utilize Vincent's shoulder and kind of look at where I want to place, where I want to cut out the hole is basically what I'm saying. So let's see what we can do. I don't exactly know how we're going to do that, but let's do the best we can. That looks good. I'm thinking that's the amount that I'm going to try to cut off the back of this skull so that way we can utilize the rest of it. I don't even know what kind of tool I could use to do this. I'm going to, like, maybe a pumpkin knife? Let's find out. Let's see if that works. All right, I don't have anything that necessarily would be able to cut things easily, but I did find a staple remover. Now my thought is styrofoam's pretty easy to stab into. You know what, don't try this at home unless this works out, because I don't know how dangerous this could be. We're about to find out. Oh, it's actually working pretty good. Maybe if I at least could cut along where I got my drawing, it might work out better. You know, this does not work. This is not, this isn't working. I'm going to guess this is also probably going to be very messy. So maybe put down like, I don't know, like some plastic or something. The underside's not gonna matter because that's gonna be hidden. So let's just kind of go all ham on it. Let's get the inside. We're gonna get rid of that back side of this head altogether. I feel like I shouldn't stab towards myself. That's a bad example I'm setting for you guys. All right, so don't stab towards yourself. Stab away from yourself. That's a good idea. See, stabbing away. My hand is in a safe place. It cannot get stabbed. Is there a tool specifically built to cut styrofoam? Because if there is, somebody let me know what that is. Ugh. Ugh. I almost want to rip it, but I'm afraid of ripping it. Ooh! I did it! Ooh, it smells awful. Oh, it's making a mess. Alright, but look! I did it! I ripped off the back end. Look at that. That's much more able to sit on my shoulder. Perfect! Oh my god! I'm thinking we might have to do a little bit more carving and vacuuming. Oh, it's sticking to me. Alright guys, I think I've carved it out quite a bit to the point where it will like sit nicely on the shoulder. One thing, I wish I kind of like left this and kind of carved more like this way instead of like carving outward. Lesson learned. But to be honest, I'm not upset about it. All together, speaking of, look how cute this turned out. Look how stable it is. Like, pretty great. So, look at this. Look at it. Oh my god. I'm still working on figuring out a way to make them stay up together. Almost, my plan is if I could get something almost kind of like lay together so that they kind of hold each other up. Maybe something like a strap or something in the back of sorts. Don't know yet. we'll figure that out as we go. But I'm just happy with what we got so far. So maybe, oh, hold on. Well, when you work as you go, sometimes you come up with better ideas, and I almost like this better. This is good. This is good. This is cute. I like kind of how the asymmetrical look of this. All right. Next step, spray paint. So let's do that actually right now while we have some daylight. All right, so right now I'm about to start my spray painting, and I have just regular like black. I had it around. It's really like probably like 99-cent cheap one. I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of money on it because I'm not gonna use much of it, because like look how tiny those things are. Honestly, like I'm not gonna use much. I think this is more of a glossy finish, so it's gonna be kind of glossy, which is fine. I probably would have preferred a matte kind of look, but you know, we'll take what we can get. If anywhere we can save some money on this costume, we're gonna do it. So we're gonna use this. Now also note that I'm wearing different clothes. You wanna wear things that you don't mind getting messed up. Since I have a nice little bleach stain from when we did my hair, I've worn this and an old t-shirt that I got from like from work a long time ago. So let's start spray painting. And that's it. Pretty simple. Not too complicated at all. And look, they already look kind of really cool, despite the fact that they're still like smoking from the the spray paint. But I'm liking the look so far. I might need to do another coat because I know I should probably do the bottom of that and maybe cut the, like the little edges. But I'm gonna wait for this to dry. It takes about 20 minutes to an hour. So I'm gonna wait for this to dry and I'm just gonna do another coat. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna kind of like turn it over and do another coat. And that's gonna finish up these beautiful looking just shoulder pieces. Thanks for watching, guys, and if you want to see the rest of this costume, I split this up into 3 parts for your viewing pleasure. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more Halloween fun.